it's off. Oh, excellent connection. Love it.
Episode...
Yep.
44.
Yep.
I thought it was 43.
What the heck's he doing here?
We're on episode 44 already.
We were on 43, but I upped it to 44 when I edited the thing.
Cool.
Well, who's here? It looks like the Vermont guy's here.
Oh! I didn't even see him.
There he is down in front again. Hey, man.
Hi, dude.
I'm going to give you a little shoulder rub. Let me give a little shoulder rub here. Oh, yeah.
He just teleports his way into all sorts of different places now.
This guy, you know, he's everywhere, you know. You know why you get a guy like this? He's everywhere. I don't know. Anybody wrong? Okay,
chat?
so hello. Got the three in here.
Oh, I got some people there. And then
Gary and Richard and Alex.
Yeah.
Patrick. Hello, everyone.
Are you able to edit that thing while it's live streaming?
Who, me?
Yeah. Can you go over to the other screen and click edit real quick?
Why? What's wrong?
I just wanted to see something.
Oh, the monetization?
See where it says edit?
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that while it's live. Can you?
I thought you could.
Let's try.
Yeah, you can. So click that and then click on. I don't know why it's automatically off. There we go. Okay. Hit done. You have to hit done. Hey guys, we're just fixing something real quick.
Gotcha.
And then click save. There we go.
There we go.
Cool. And then, wow, more people in the chat here.
But he was the first one to show up.
Yeah, he just...
You must be tired from your day of, oh my gosh, let me get this for you. Here we go.
I don't remember inviting him to YouTube, but maybe he saw everyone else chatting and he wanted to join.
What's buzzing? All right, so. What's that? Oh, he's mentally contacting us again because he's not talking. What's that? Oh, you have to go? Okay. Well, thanks for joining us for the Hairy Scary Hangover. He made an appearance at the hangout, so why not the hangover? All right, man. We'll see you.
Okay, bye, dude.
Tell everyone you say hi. Bye. All right, bye. There we go.
I guess he has magic teleportation powers.
Hello there.
Who knew?
Wow. Hey! Welcome one and all to the Mummy and the Monkey's
Hairy Scary Hangover.
Woo, here we go. We're going to unwind here, unpack, and maybe pivot while we unpack on the hangover.
This is our after party chat show. We host cheesy B movies Friday nights on our Facebook fan page, The Mummy and the Monkey.
Lest you think we're just bored and dressing up like this, like it's Halloween every Friday night.
Hey, every day is Halloween when you're the Mummy and the Monkey, right?
You're darn tootin', good looking. All right.
And we have behind the scenes videos on our YouTube channel as well, like eBay and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't subscribed, please do and hit the like button.
Please.
And we have some topics we could talk about.
We do?
We do.
What topics you got there?
We're going to talk about B-movie stuff.
Wait a minute. Why would we talk about that?
Because it's what we host.
That makes no sense. Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah, because it's what we host, Grimm.
All right.
Let's check this up. But first, let's check out some of the comments.
Albert's saying he wants them banana hands to give him a massage. I just did. I gave the Vermont guy a couple of little shoulder, massages. I think he liked it. Some hot topics.
Hot topics.
The worst name for a store.
Is that like a Hot Pocket?
Every time I did the store Hot Topic, it reminds me of Hot Pockets. It doesn't remind me of a goth store.
Hot Topics.
What are you gonna pick? Hot Topic.
Hot Pockets.
Horrible.
Hot Topics. Warm subjects.
No big iced tea cans.
Are those stores still around? Hot Topic.
They sure are. That's where you get all your, T-shirts and stuff. Your South Park T-shirts and stuff.
It used to be all goth, and then they switched to graphic T-shirts.
Mark Geary's gonna kick it off. Thanks, Mark, for the question. So, what is your favorite B movie?
My favorite B movie, of all of them, of all the B movies,
of all time. Do you have a favorite?
Time. Gosh,
I know what mine is.
I'd probably have to say Plan 9 from Outer Space. And then my second favorite B movie, I'd probably have to pick Night of the Living Dead.
Yep, those are iconic movies.
Because it's so iconic and they're part of film history too. And there's horror films that we've seen where people are watching a movie and guess what's on their TV? Night of the Living Dead. It's just...
Well,
That was the first of that type of zombie movie.
It also transitioned the voodoo zombie into the flesh-eating zombie.
Yes, the brain-eating zombies
right.
and all that. And Plan 9, because it's amazing. How can you not like Plan 9?
Alex Beatty has a good question. How do I get my husband an autograph? Very simple, Alex.
Alex, thank you. Yeah, you can write to us, themummyandthemonkey@gmail.com, or you could go on our website, themummyandthemonkey.com. There is a link to the eBay store, and we do have some pictures on there on the eBay store.
That's right. We have autographs for sale.
Yeah.
Things like that.
But we could personalize it and send them to you.
We have DVDs. Anything we pretty much can use as Sharpie on. We can autograph anything that we have for sale.
Mm-hmm.
T-shirts, DVDs, 8x10 photographs that we have. So. Just go visit our site. We'd be more than happy to hook you up with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Very simple. The
Thanks for
MummyAndTheMonkey.com. So easy to find us anywhere. All right.
Very cool.
What the hell is on your food tray, Monkey? Well, number one, it's not a food tray. That's a funny idea. I never thought of it like that.
Funny idea.
This is what I use to drive the show. Usually I'm sitting back there so Jenny can lounge and do what she wants to do, get comfortable on the couch. I'm just in the background driving the show. This is my... pretty much the way I drive the show. It's a lap desk.
It's for the mouse and the mouse pad.
But I do put my popcorn on here sometimes, so it could be kind of a food tray.
Yeah, it could be. Well, and you've got your little monster friends on the tray too.
Yeah, I like one of my favorite B movies. There you go. Got chatter teeth on here, skulls, zombies, skeletons, everything. Godzilla, right?
Right.
A knockoff Godzilla tonight. All right. Shut up, you. I like the Roger Corman movie, A Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, that is a really good one.
As a young monkey, one of my favorite things to watch was that when it would come on late night TV on the horror hosted shows here. Mm-hmm. I would stop everything. That was my favorite because it would show it once in a great while when it did come on. Everything was like focused on that movie.
It's probably one of Corman's best movies.
Yes, I love that.
Probably one of the better ones. He made a lot of crappy movies, and we hosted one on our Facebook page this evening.
Yeah, Gary Smith said I think his might be House on Haunted Hill. That's a good one too.
Oh, that's another really good one.
You can't see but is that a B movie? You think?
It's a B movie.
Why?
Yeah. Well, it has a little bit of
public domain.
It's in the public domain, and it has a little bit of a cheesy factor to it. Has like that classic Halloween cheesy feel where it's not really scary by today's standards, but when you look back and watch it, it's fun.
Oh, David Waldman says favorite B movie director. Now, well,
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood. He's the king, right?
Ed Wood. And then Roger Corman.
Yeah, those guys are pretty much the kings. There are some other ones out there. I wish I could think of the one, the guy that made Red Zone Cuba. Mystery Science Theater shows some movies. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. It's not coming to me offhand. But these movies are just really bad.
What about that Tommy Wiseau?
He's not B movie though. He's just bad.
The B should stand for bad. Yeah.
That guy. Well, but he was. Well,
that's a more modern film, and it's not a horror film, but it's still funny.
Who did Birdemic? Thomas Wen.
Birdemic.
I know the director's name is Wen. I think it's Thomas Wen.
Wen. Yeah.
But surprisingly, the sequel to Birdemic it's a rehash of the first movie, but almost better in a bad way. It's hard to describe because when you see this movie Birdemic, you right away figure out the guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's very, very Ed Woodian.
So bad.
It's done seriously.
It's like a more modern Ed Wood.
But it's bad. But then you figure, okay, he knows that, people made fun of the first movie, so the sequel is going to be like a parody of the, I get it, I did a bad movie. No. He still doesn't understand he's doing bad movies. And he thinks he's going to make a better bad movie. It's hard to explain, but the outtakes of that, the behind the scenes of that, with a DVD that we got, Birdemic 2, I've never seen a human being. This is what working with Ed Wood must have been like.
Wow.
Where they don't even get...
I didn't see the behind the scenes stuff. I did watch that movie with you.
Amazing.
A while back ago. So going back to the Roger Corman thing.
Yeah.
So I wrote, where did that go?
Death Race.
There's so many bad movies he put out. He even wrote a book about making over 100 Hollywood movies and never losing any money making them. There was this whole formula to the way he would make these bad movies and get them out. Well, so one thing he did, and Roger Corman's still alive too. He's like in his 90s.
Yeah, he's
That's
a living
awesome.
legend. You know, we're going to talk about that too. I thought you were going to like bring up like living legends, actors and or directors.
Yeah, well, now we're getting into the B movie stuff, so I thought I'd talk about him a little bit. But yeah, he Bucket of Blood, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
He did produce that movie we just showed. It was Voyage to the Planet of the Prehistoric Women.
Mouthful.
Yeah, that whole thing.
But again, that
Night
title,
of the Blood Beast,
right.
Carnosaur. I mean, there's so many he was involved in. And his book is called How I Made 100 Movies in Hollywood and Never Lost a Dime.
Oh, Roger Corman's Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, I actually liked that one.
Strangely enough, the best Fantastic Four movie that's been made of the Fantastic Four so far. You know, when you look at what, because yeah, the other two attempts, the first one was just lackluster. It was almost like just a more polished version of the Corman one, right? And then that second thing that they did with you know, where everyone was kind of jerky and it was not good. I fell asleep through that second rehash, second reboot.
I thought the Corman one was more interesting than the ones that they put out in like the early 2000s.
That's when I bought back in the day when you went to like conventions, horror conventions or sci-fi or comic conventions, when everyone would have these dealers would have like tables full of bootleg VHS tapes, $20 a pop. That's it. They might have had some 5 for 100 deals or something like that. You know, 5 tapes for 100, $20 a piece. But man, I would buy those things up, and I still have my VHS copy of the Roger Corman Fantastic, which was a dub of a dub, and who knows how many generations my copy was. I don't know.
Back when these things weren't as
but it didn't matter,
easy to acquire.
But people would buy these things no matter what the quality was because they were so jonesing for this. This was before obviously all the internet was around.
All the streaming, all the downloading.
So now when a new movie comes out now, they upload that 4K version and boom, you know.
Yeah. But people were desperate to get their movies at the conventions.
Did you ever buy anything VHS? Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
At conventions, like animes and things like that.
Some anime stuff that was harder to find. I would go to like OhioCon and buy like rare anime and
on DVD or VHS. Didn't matter really.
Whatever copy I could get.
Whatever format.
Yeah, depending on the movie.
But wow, it's.
I remember when Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust came out on DVD.
Oh yeah, that's the second one, right?
That's the second one, and that movie's fun.
I love both of them. I love the second one way better than the first one.
I mean I remember the DVD being like $30.
Yeah.
Because
a bootleg or a real
No,
one?
it was the real one.
Okay, that's
and
not bad.
you had to mail away for it.
That's not bad.
I remember I mailed away for that one. Because it was like before the stores had it or something.
Yeah.
But funny. It's and with those genres, it's great because like the people that like anime or the people that like superheroes, that horror genre kind of seeps into those genres. Like there's the vampire animes, the horror themed anime. There's the superheroes like the one Morbius, the vampire. There's these different monsters and comic books that could be considered horror film, kind of like a horror film. And then there's horror comic books.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Al Adamson. That's another. You know what I love? Okay, so that's another good one. Catherine Marquardt says Al Adamson's Dracula versus Frankenstein. I love that movie. It is. It's the one with the big, apple pie faced.
Oh yeah, he's got like a way different look.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It looks like a big baked Alaska.
It's odd. Yeah.
Dough faced, horrible Frankenstein, and the Dracula guy looks like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Very nice.
Like Borat as Dracula. It's really funny, but it's actually not that bad of a movie. And my favorite part of that movie is the scientist. I think it's Dr. Frankenstein. That revises or whoever the doctor is in that movie. He's in the wheelchair.
Oh, I don't remember.
He's the wheelchair bound guy, and who owns a fun house. It's a whole weird thing, but when he talks, you can hear his dentures clicking, and you just hear this like the porcelain dentures clicking as he speaks, and it's like when someone says a lot. All you do is hear them say I went to the store, and I bought this stuff, and I brought it home, It's like, and as they speak, all you hear is the You don't even hear what they're saying.
Yeah. it's like hard to focus.
In that Frankenstein versus Dracula movie, when this guy starts talking, all you hear is That's all I hear. It's really wild. I mean, it's a really wild movie.
What are the comments?
Forrest Ackerman had a cameo in that movie. Yes, he did. He got killed in that movie. Spider Baby. You know that's
another good B movie.
That one could be remade. No one's remade that movie.
Well, it has inspired other films. Because I see some of the Spider Baby elements in some of the Rob Zombie movies, and I'm not a fan of the Rob Zombie movies too much. I know that might be blasphemy to some of you, but I like the original Spider Baby. That is a good movie. I forgot about that one.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Was that in a play, though, after a while? I don't know what they did with Spider Baby.
I don't recall, but the movie's really good. And that was...
Yeah, the actor in the Dracula.
That was Sid Haig's first movie, wasn't it? Or one of his first ones.
It was one of his first, yeah.
Yeah.
We just
young
lost
Sid
him
Haig.
a few years ago.
A couple years ago.
Xandor Vorkov was the guy that played, was like the Sacha Baron Cohen.
Xandor.
Yeah, cool name.
That's a very cool name.
But the
Xandor.
but the ring in that movie was really cool. Yeah.
Sounds like the name of like a magician or something.
Xandor the
Xandor the Magnificent.
Yeah. Corman is definitely a national treasure. The guy, he was a marketing genius, and but he
so epic. Like,
and some would say he was an enigma in that he would make some good stuff, but mostly bad stuff.
It was mostly bad movies, but some of them were good bad movies, and then some of them were bad movies.
Yeah.
But that whole formula, you have a really cool poster, have a catchy looking poster. You make an interesting trailer. Have a couple actors in it that are entertaining or good looking, like Mamie Van Doren, Mamie Van Doren, and Doren. Mamie Van Doren,
Al Jolson or something?
Jack Nicholson. Gosh, all
Zardoz. Yeah.
And the movie could suck, but they already bought the ticket. They saw the trailer. They saw the cool looking poster.
You know what movie really sucked?
What?
Deep Throat.
Oh, Grim.
I know.
We're not talking about those movies.
It's The Hangover. Yeah, we never really talk about. There are horror movies. You know, that's a horror.
There are
thing.
dirty horror movies.
Adult movies,
like adult themed
parodies. Yeah.
Horror parodies. There was one called Dracula the Dirty Old Man.
Edward.
That
I can't say what Edward something hands.
Yeah, Edward something hands.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a whole nother topic.
Maybe, there's someone we could probably team up with that we could do that with one day.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe it's a straight to video thing.
Or maybe a podcast
straight
or
to
something.
DVD, yeah.
That would be so funny.
That could be a better podcast, yeah.
Oh, speaking of podcasts, and I forgot to talk about this on the Facebook show.
Yes.
We are going to be part of another podcast next month called the Really Scared Podcast.
Ooh.
Where we go, like, we have a deep dive.
Guess what?
What?
I'm really scared. Go ahead.
Are you really scared? It's going to be like a deep dive talking about like Ed Wood and his movies and like Plan 9 from Outer Space. Right. Because he's like, we'll pick a B movie and we'll talk about it. And I picked Plan 9 and Ed Wood. So that's what we'll be talking about on the Really Scared Podcast late February.
Look, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark fan. Oh, that's good too. Jenny Delaney says, have you guys ever seen Earth versus the Spider? Yes, we just talked about that on our episode. Before we came here on Facebook.
That's actually a good bad movie.
It's a great movie. I've seen it a few times lately, and I do like that movie.
Yeah.
And Joe Wilhelm, Joel in the house.
Joel's here.
He likes Death Race 2000. That's Keith. It's one of the Carradines, right? David Carradine's in that movie. Mm-hmm. That's a good movie. That's a Corman movie.
Well, didn't he also make the original Fast and the Furious?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the Furious?
No. 1955, there was a Fast and the Furious.
But why not do a mashup? Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the Furious. Whoa! Dude! Gnarly! You dick! That'd be awesome. I'd see that. Jess McCauley, in sort of a, in a muscle car. How bad A would that be?
That would be hilarious. I would definitely want to see that.
Let's party. Let's see. Flesh Gordon. Who did Flesh Gordon? Herschel Gordon Lewis. No.
That's actually a
Who did Flesh Gordon, though?
Oh, I don't remember who made it. I'd have to Google it. Yeah, I don't remember.
John Agar. Boy, that guy.
Ooh.
What an actor.
Mm-hmm.
What a ham. Yeah, John Agar. That's someone to look up. He's an interesting dude. Appeared in a lot of B movies back in the late 50s, early 60s. Was in the Mole Men, the Universal movie, Mole People.
The Mole People, yeah.
He was in that. For some reason, he talked like John Wayne. we don't need to go there. You know, he was like very, hey, pilgrim. He was like, he didn't say pilgrim, but he was that that affect that John Wayne had. He very much kind of did that for some reason.
Kind of way of
what
speaking.
What do you mean we gotta go in the cave? It was like really weird.
So we had people ask on the Facebook when we were hosting the movie this evening about Voyage to the Planet of the Prehistoric Women from 1968. There was also another film called Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet from 1965. And then in 1962, it was called Planet of Storms. That's the English translation.
The Russian movie.
So that was the Soviet film that was like outer spacey, but it just had like a bunch of dudes in it, and it was like, you know, guys having outer space adventures.
What's wrong with that?
Corman was producing the Prehistoric Women movie, and he wanted to take Planet of Storms and add some women to it to make it more interesting. And that's what happened.
If you look at the effects in the movie we just showed tonight, they are so cutting edge. I mean, they're very, very, you know, more than what was being done back then.
They are, yeah.
Except for when, like, you know, 2001: A Space Odyssey came out in 69 or 68. Then it was like more like Lucasfilm stuff that you saw, not until like almost 20 years later or 10 years later when they did Star Wars. But if you watch the movie we showed tonight, you know, the Soviet movie, it had basically a land speeder. It was like a Jetsons car.
Yeah.
But the way they made it kind of more and bob, like, you know, like it was anti-gravity.
Right.
It looks very much like a land speeder from Luke Skywalker's land speeder. The way it kind of bobs, like, because it's like, you know, anti-grav. They did all that kind of thing. It wasn't just some kind of a prop that they set on the ground. When they got in it, it would kind of like dip down and it would kind of bob a little bit.
The effects that they did in that Russian or Soviet film, I mean, it looked incredible. The spaceships and stuff.
And you fast forward to a movie called Silent Running with Bruce Dern, where they had these little robots were, you know, and obviously if you read the, you know, the George Lucas stuff about how he was inspired for Star Wars, because Kenny Baker was a short person. They had little people actually in the robot suits in the movie Silent Running. You have to look it up. It's a great movie. Totally recommend it. If you've not seen Silent Running from 1975, I believe it came out, find it, rent it, you know, whatever, buy it. It's a really good space movie.
I didn't like the ending to that one.
Well, but it was good.
It was a good movie. I just
Everything
didn't like
have
the
to be perfect, but at least he saved some of the. Well, you have to see.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it.
It wasn't all in vain. It was a good thing.
But that's a fun. That's
There's
a cool
some stuff
movie
that got to go on after
some
that.
cool effects, and you can see how that
Getting too deep, I think, with the meanings of stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Horrors of Spider Island. That's a great movie. We have. I would love to show that movie.
Yeah, we haven't shown that one. What are the other comments?
Could you please show any classic werewolf movies from Cinema Storms? We did show Night of the Wolf. What is it?
Moon of the Wolf.
Moon of the Wolf.
There is
David Jansen.
There's another made-for-TV movie called The Werewolf of Washington.
Yes,
I don't think we've played that one yet.
Dean Stockwell. We should have done. Yeah, we should have done that around in November.
Oh,
during the election
yeah,
time.
we should
That would
have
been good.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that till now.
Yeah, I used to watch.
Late Horror Show is here.
There he is. Hey, Dino. What's going
there,
on,
Dino.
buddy?
He did a great review with Kelsey. I believe that's her name. I might be butchering that. He did a great review of the Hellraiser movies. I was listening to that when we were getting the studio ready.
Yeah, Joel says in Silent Running, yes, they used amputees for the robots in that movie, which it's interesting because they were amputees or people that maybe were born with no legs, and they would the robots were designed, the robot costume, they walked on their hands. They look almost like a duck, but they were these like really strange,
and they were like these little
boxy robots that had two hands or legs. And the people were amputees and or just didn't have a lower half to their body, and those were the actors they used to walk those three robots around.
That's incredible.
Which I think again inspired Lucas that if you're going to have a small robot, you could have an RC thing, but if you could have someone inside of it, like Kenny Baker, who was the actor for R2-D2, to be inside of there, that's what I think, and it gave other people, actors in the field, other jobs because again.
It gave them opportunity to get a job in the film industry where maybe in the past they couldn't get into showbiz.
Just like giant tall guys like Peter Mayhew who played Chewbacca. I mean, there's probably very limited things you could do, but we need a really tall Wookiee in this thing.
Well, you need all shapes and sizes to make an interesting movie, interesting characters. So, I think that's great that they did that.
Cool. There's so much cool stuff. Yeah, if you really get into the that's a cool thing about especially the science fiction stuff, horror stuff, is everyone gets all nerdy about it. I love it, because you have to kind of think out of the box and make this stuff sort of work. How do you do it? What kind of people do you need to do this? Actors, bona fide actors that maybe that might have been like typecast in certain roles. They could actually be more diverse in other things, like sci-fi stuff. I think it opened up a lot of opportunities, as you said.
Yeah.
Like even the Munsters. I mean, what would the guy Lurch? The guy that played Lurch. What could he do? How many roles did that guy have? He found he was set. He got that thing, and then he did a few things after that. But
yeah. Like Butch Patrick, who was Eddie Munster.
Well, but he could have done anything, though.
I'm sure he had some other
challenges.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Lurch.
I'm sure, like they've had other acting gigs, but they'll always be known as the Munsters or the Addams Family or like, I just think that's cool. Like they get to be that character.
Yeah, Albert says Queen of Blood. That movie. And that had John Saxon in it, by the way, and Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, it had that crazy vampire alien woman with the weird onion hair.
That's probably one of my
spandex.
Whether that's a B movie or not, it might be.
Yeah, it's a B movie. I think that's another Corman one.
That might be. No, I don't think it was. No, but it was one of my favorites.
I'll have to check it.
I
could be mistaken.
That might be second after, or right up there, at least with Little Shop of Horrors for me, because that movie creeped me out.
Her facial expressions were really creepy.
She would do that thing with her lips, like she was hungry for blood.
Yeah, she wanted to kill them all.
Yeah.
And the one guy was like, "No, don't kill her."
Well, at the end is the creepiest ending when they find all those gross eggs in the ship. Oh my gosh, pulsating, blah blah. So good.
But so the pterodactyl that gets killed in the movie we played this evening, Voyage to the Planet of the Prehistoric Women. Yeah. That same pterodactyl. Or the flying reptile, they called it, was in Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet from 1965. So they reused that reptile prop.
We had a SAG card too, though, so he's good. He's in the industry. And
the flying reptile and our buddy Joey Vento from the Haunted Barn Museum in New York told us about this, and he is very knowledgeable with the props and who sculpts what. So. Hua Ming Chang, he was a Chinese American designer. He was adopted by an American family. He was a sculptor. He was a clothing designer. He was an artist, a painter. He did all this stuff. He actually designed that reptile, but then he also made costumes for some of the Star Trek episodes for some of the characters. Like the Gorn battle scenes, he did some of the costumes for that.
Really? Okay.
He also designed the tribbles.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He made the tribbles. Hua Ming Chang also designed the headdresses that Elizabeth Taylor wore in the Cleopatra movie. And props for the Planet of the Apes, he made some of those.
Yes.
The 70s, the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, well, I saw something else I was going to read real quick.
But he passed away in 2003, but I thought that was neat. Like, they used that same reptile for those two movies.
Jack Gray says, have we shown Robot Monster? I would love to show that,
but... I wish we could.
You would think that we could, as bad as that movie is, and you would think nobody would want to claim that thing. It would be public domain forever, but it was bought up by a guy. What's his name?
Oh, that's William Wade.
William Wade.
Or Wade Williams? Wade Williams.
Yeah.
That's Coronet Films.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a package of movies that they use for television and for other platforms where this guy took all these movies that didn't have any copyrights and then added his own intro to it, and then they're all copywritten now.
Yeah, God bless you, Gary Smith. He had a videotape. He videotaped. I think it was Big Chuck and Little John. He says Houlihan and Big Chuck, but it might be Big Chuck and Little John. I don't know. But he has that silent running. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, were they hosted at?
Yeah. That's where I first saw that movie. Is on the Big Chuck, maybe Houlihan and Big Chuck earlier, and then later on Big Chuck and Little John they were showing it. Might be Houlihan Chuck, but whoever showed it, whichever version of that show. I'm pretty sure that night that you taped it on a VHS tape, I taped it on a cassette tape.
Wow.
And I still have. I know I was crazy back then for these horror hosted shows. I didn't have a VCR back then. But yeah, I do have that show. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. And you can find all that stuff on the Big Chuck and Little John fan page, right? You can find ways to get to
There's a
that.
Big Chuck and Little John Facebook group, and then there is a Big Chuck and Little John Roku app. And they have all the instructions on how to download that app on your Roku on that Facebook group. So it should be on there, and then they post links and stuff too. They have some episodes also on archive.org, and then a bunch of the skits are all over YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, oh wow, there's a lot of comments there.
Yeah, Spider Drag says The Abominable Dr. Fives. Not a B movie, but a great movie.
Not a B movie, but an amazing movie.
One of my favorite Vincent Price movies ever.
That's a cool movie.
It's a dark comedy, and that's what's beautiful. But the stylization of everything in that movie, it's off the charts. It's a very, very awesome movie.
It's such a beautiful movie to look at.
There's a sequel to it that's, from what I remember, wasn't that good. It was okay.
I don't remember the sequel.
I have it.
I must have not seen it.
We have to watch it.
Yeah.
But I definitely have Fives, a couple of versions of that shown by different movie hosts. But man, Big Chuck and Little John used to show that all the time, and it was such a fun movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of made you a little bit of Monty. It's a British movie, so there's a little bit of Monty Python sort of British humor in there. You know, with some of the deaths, because it's like the plagues, like the 13 plagues or something that he brings back, or the 9 plagues. He brings back on people that killed his wife in a surgery accident, but a surgical accident. So he wreaks vengeance on all these
medical malpractice.
Really, some of the weirdest things you've ever seen. But it's like the 9 plagues. It's great.
So remember to like and hit subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. It does help support the channel. We also have super stickers. There's like little stickers that you could get on the page and add in the chat.
Yeah, Mark Geary says there was a radio adaptation of Fives' story with Malcolm McDowell as Fives. It's funny because I was just so Malcolm McDowell's still with us, and someone just posted something of him on Facebook, and I'm like, this guy, he's like the Michael Caine type of sort of British actor, where they were in so much stuff, and I saw like Michael Caine, between Michael Caine and Malcolm McDowell, every other movie, you know, they would kind of like be in every kind of, in all kind of genres too. I mean, Malcolm McDowell did all kinds of, he was Caligula in that Hustler movie. I mean,
that crazy. Is oh my god, that movie is. Woo.
Yes, but
we can't talk about that.
But
movie
he's also
here.
in a movie called Time After Time, which is, if you've never seen Time After Time, I have to track that movie down. I would love to see it again. It's about it's a fantastical movie about H.G. Wells, as you know, the writer H.G. Wells who wrote The Time Machine. Like, what if he really created a time machine and he was an author? But then Jack the Ripper steals this time machine.
Oh no!
And goes back from the late 1800s into the when the movie was shot in the late 70s. So it's really crazy. It's a really, and then
it's like Jack the Ripper in modern times.
H.G. Wells is a second, like a backup, like a prototype. He uses that to get back
to going
to find him. Yeah. It's really good. There's some really
I haven't seen that one.
Bad, really dark parts in that movie, but it's a good movie.
Dino says Time After Time is fantastic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
With Roddy McDowell. No, Roddy McDowell, but it's Malcolm. It's Malcolm McDowell in there, I believe.
I'm just seeing what the other. Maybe we're mistaken.
Roddy McDowell. No, the guy that played in Planet of the Apes. No, that's not him. He might be in it. Yeah, David Warner's Jack the Ripper, which is really good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells.
So what movie could we play next week, Grimm?
Time After Time. I wish we could. No. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, so the last couple of weeks, we're not cheating, but we're showing movies that we've shown before.
We're replaying movies that we hosted 2 years ago, and it was when we had crappier internet, and it was kind of...
The connection was bad.
The connection was choppy, the replay was bad.
I think people bailed, at least, if not halfway through, quarter way through our show.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't watch the movie in full because it was a choppy connection.
Understandably. We
didn't know. Like...
We figured it, but I think we figured it out because everything since the last maybe handful of shows, maybe 10 shows, we've gone off with it without a hitch.
Yeah, I think the past, I want to say 10 to 12 shows, the playback is a lot better.
So you can expect, anything from here on out should be watchable, like you're watching anything on TV.
Yeah, like you're watching us right now.
Yeah,
hopefully it's
streaming,
nice and smooth for you.
Some of it we get, gets lost on the connection once, someone else who's watching us, if they have bad service, bad connection, bad wiring, then there's nothing we can do about that. But our output wasn't that good.
But yeah, there was stuff on our end that we needed to update, and we didn't know for a while.
So we have, I look at this is kind of a redo.
Albert, oh my gosh, thank you, a $25 super chat.
Since I can't have a campfire, here's the money I saved on firewood. This guy has the most epic fires in the campfires. And I love, I love camp. I like me. I like my fires.
Grimm loves his campfires.
But I don't do him anything like Albert. I can't compete with that. What he does with camp, it's like he's a maestro at campfires.
He is.
It's awesome. Well, thank you, Albert. That's very generous, and it will go to buying maybe firewood for me. No, I'm kidding. Definitely mac and cheese for us. All right.
It goes towards if we need lighting or SD cards. It goes towards keeping the channel running. And we did have to do a lot of upgrades, so to get everything going where we wanted it to be.
Oh, Penthouse. I'm sorry, not Hustler. Okay, sorry. Thanks, Wiggle Wiggle, for the correction. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if that makes that any better.
Well, it does. If it was Hustler, it could have been a way crazier movie. But Penthouse, there's a little decorum there. You know what I mean?
Well, the story of that person is way crazy. So I guess a crazy movie goes.
That movie was nuts.
Goes with it. We can't talk about that one.
I have not seen that in a long time, but I remember a lot of it.
Ooh, yeah, it's disturbing.
It's like one of those movies that sticks in your head, so to speak. Okay. Monster Club is an awesome movie. Who said that?
Monster Club?
Mark Gary. Oh,
Which one's that one?
You haven't seen Monster Club? I haven't.
Have I seen that one?
You might not. I got Chuck and John showing it. It's good.
I don't remember that one.
It's like one of those, what do you call it? Like not a montage, but it's like a multiple stories. Mm-hmm. And it's got like everyone in it. It's like crazy. It's got like Vincent Price, John Carradine.
Wow.
I think Peter Cushing might be in it. I think, but it's got all these like monster guys, and it's like this like multiple stories of different sort of monsters and tales. And then you get to see the whole the.
Is that the one with like the grandpa telling the kid the monster?
Like that, but it's a club.
Oh, okay.
It's a club like where monsters go, like an actual club.
Yeah, then I
with
must
music
have
and
not
everything.
seen
Yeah.
it.
It's great.
I'm thinking of maybe a different.
Bobby Harvey Jr. Blackenstein. That movie. I mean,
that movie's really bad.
It's not even a good bad. It's just boring.
So those were from the 70s when they were making the exploitation films. They made a Blackula and a Blackenstein.
Blackula's a great movie though.
Yeah, the vampire one, that one's good. But the Frankenstein one was not very good.
Blackenstein was not. It was they could have done so much and they just didn't.
So yeah, we've come a long way with that. But yeah, so many weird exploitation movies from the 60s and 70s.
Richard Taylor says, "I am not as thick as you drunk I am." Yeah, I hear that.
Jeez.
Peter Lorre.
So what are you thinking for next week, Grimm, for a movie?
Well, I got a good question here.
Oh, yeah?
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark fan Jenny Delaney says, "Hey, Grimm, are you excited for the new Godzilla vs. King Kong movie?" Well, of course I am. Although I will admit, all right. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I haven't liked any of the new movies that came out. Believe it or not, I'm a huge Godzilla fan. Obviously, a huge King Kong fan, right? Original King Kong. Not the remake so much. The Peter Jackson thing was okay. Had great CGI.
I mean, it did look okay.
The casting was weird. Jack Black and
I'm not a big CGI fan, but it did look okay.
I don't mind CGI, but it was that's not my problem.
But I don't know. I didn't like the story.
The casting was weird. It was very slow burn. The King Kong remake, the Peter Jackson one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Loved the Lord of the Rings movies. Was not a big fan of the King Kong. I saw it once. And that's it when it came out.
Some of you guys might hate me. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
So, truth be told, the new Godzilla movie, the first Godzilla, the new one, where he's like, 100 million feet tall and everything. Mm-hmm. He's the old god, whatever the Titans from back when. Had the whole, American soldier story thing going on. I was like, they're very human. They always do these Godzilla movies.
Where it's like, okay, this is what I hate about these monster movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about, like, these people and their stories.
Right.
And we don't want to see that. We just want to see the monsters fighting.
Have you watched the old Japanese ones?
Yeah.
They did that too.
Yeah, and they did that too. And even though I love those ones,
because how much
just to show the monsters battling.
One of my favorite Godzilla movies ever was Godzilla versus a smog monster. I mean, versus Megalon with Jet Jaguar. I love that because it has all kinds. It's Gigan's in it, and you know
that's cool. Yeah,
you know, it's Jet Jaguar. They should have did way more. Jet. I can't.
I love Mothra because I love the Mothra twins.
The remakes were good.
The Mothra movies are so cute.
Now the new Godzilla movies, the first one I was like, again, too much of the human story. And okay, because what are you going to do with this giant thing? I know you can't do 2 hours of just that. And then the second movie.
Why can't you just do 2 hours of monsters?
The second Godzilla movie should have been better because they have Ghidorah in it, you know, Monster Zero, whatever you want to call them. Mothra, everyone's in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't that. I thought it was kind of corny at the end when all the monsters bow to Godzilla. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Bowing? It sounds like a human-y thing. It's kind of weird. I wasn't really crazy about it. I'm just saying.
I didn't think it was that good.
But the King Kong.
Nothing beats the originals.
Kong Island, whatever that I didn't really care about that.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. I don't know. Sorry.
It's not quite the same.
I'm not that much of a purist either. I just want to be. Either you hit me in the right way or you don't with this stuff. And they just have not been like, you know, hitting me in the way that my sensibilities were like, that's kind of weird or kind of corny. I don't know. But Godzilla versus King Kong could be the thing that brings me back into it. I don't know. I hope so. I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, I love Mothra, and I love in the 90s there were like Return of Mothra and these like other Mothra movies.
Oh yeah.
They're fun.
Patrick Lord said Peter Jackson's Brain Dead and Dead Alive are great. Dead Alive
is an awesome movie.
It is a movie that if you've never seen this movie before, you'll watch this movie and
it's like Ash with a lawnmower. Yeah, like Ash or Evil Dead, but give him a lawnmower.
No, a wood chipper. Oh, he's a lawnmower in the movie.
He has a lawnmower in the movie.
Literally, yeah.
But I mean, just the gore, just splatter.
It's a Kurosawa film. Yeah.
I mean, it's like so unreal.
So
it's like a cartoon. It's so outrageous.
If you see Dead Alive, you'll be like, "Why did they get this guy to make Lord of the Rings?"
Your mother ate my dog.
Between that, what's that puppet movie you did? Meet the
Meet the
not the Hopples, the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles.
Between that and that, you're like, this guy got to do Lord of the Rings, but it's a beautiful thing. You get to see this guy.
I like his early movies better than his more recent movies.
But Peter Jackson really did a good job. You know, back in the day, like, you know, experimenting and doing some fun stuff, pushing the envelope. And we got Lord of the Rings, he just blew it out of the water. That's, you know, the wettest stuff, the CGI in there. To this day, I look at that stuff, I'm like, the Gollum thing is
I mean, it has some
amazing.
Cool scenes. So I don't hate Lord of the Rings. I just never got into it.
It's so good. It's a slow burn thing, but
I was falling asleep through like half of it.
But look at we got to look at the detail between the actual
and it looks great
sets that they built and the CGI is a nice amalgamation.
I'm like, I just never got into it. Maybe I'll give it another chance.
Zombie pregnant
later on, but man, that Dead Alive movie. It's so fun.
Wait a minute. Oh, is that true? Oh, is that something from a movie that I don't get? What Albert said.
What's that?
I don't know. He did a funny thing. He said something funny, but he kind of cartooned it all out.
Yeah, that's okay.
Did he really?
Oh. So guys, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button or dislike button, whatever you want to do. It does go towards helping the channel out. Any activity on the channel will YouTube doesn't care.
So Wiggle keeps like pushing the stuff. The stuff is a good movie.
Yeah. That one's cool.
That reminds me of being.
It's like the Blob a little bit.
It is totally, but yes and no.
A lot of it.
Yes and no. No. The Blob attacked people.
This is something you eat.
The stuff was marketed to people.
The stuff was food, yeah.
Right, as you know, yogurt or something, right?
Yeah, kind of like.
It was something that they were, but it was like the pod people meets the Blob, right?
Yeah.
Because the stuff.
Because it was like gooey like the Blob.
And someone must have ate it and it took them over and made them want to manufacture more of it, or suck it out of the ground, feed it to people, so you would become them, like a pod person.
It's very
good. But it's a fun movie. It's so 80s.
It's good to watch. Yeah.
I mean, if you like, Stranger Things and the Karate Kid, Cobra Kai stuff, different genres, but the idea that cheesy 80s, you know.
Maybe we could talk about that next Saturday.
Cobra Kai?
80s movies.
Oh, yeah.
80s horror films.
It was what it was. I mean, there was nothing like it at the time. And it makes you wonder what you're eating. I mean, we should really worry about
high
that all the
fructose
time, right?
corn syrup, preservatives, all kinds of stuff we shouldn't be eating.
Yeah. Well, that show we were watching, the Al Pacino, what was that thing with the Nazis and
Hunters.
the Hunters.
That's
the Hunters.
on Prime. Hunters.
That was the whole thing.
That was a good
series. Was that
series.
they were putting this chemical in high fructose corn syrup that would make everybody. But that's a good show too if you like comics and
that's
like
a really cool series.
Yeah, 80s was definitely the decade of cheese, and it was fun cheese.
Yeah.
Loved it. Phantom of Paradise. That one I'm gonna check out. I know I'm familiar with the movie. I may have seen it, but it's been so long. You check it out. It's nothing like Kiss versus the Phantom of the Park.
Oh, that's a super cheesy movie.
I wish we could show that.
I wish we could.
Maximum 80s cheese. My God, there's so many. You guys are awesome. Toxic Avenger, man.
Oh, Toxic.
You can't.
Yeah.
That's a whole different level of movie.
Yeah, like we could get more into that next Saturday.
Yeah, Trauma was almost its own genre. It kind of created its own sort of like, it's like comic book companies, right? You know how Marvel was different from DC, it was different from this one, that one, Archie Comics.
Yeah.
Trauma came in and did their own version of everything.
Well, they wanted to make movies. They weren't, I guess, like considered legit in the mainstream Hollywood
indie-ish
eyes, and they Lloyd Kaufman started his own company
and
built his own empire.
I have to look at the dates, but I bet you that may have inspired Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that was right around the time TMNT came out.
I'd have to check the dates. TMNT might have been a little bit before.
For comics, you know.
Yeah.
But everyone watches that stuff and they get influenced and inspired by it.
I think Toxie was late 80s and then TMNT was mid. I think it was maybe like a year or two difference.
Maybe Toxie was after that.
I'd have to double check.
It feels like that might be the truth.
Yeah, because I think the Ninja Turtles comic books came out like maybe mid or early to mid 80s.
I mean, so much stuff, and what really tells you this, and what really, to me, really shows you where all the creativity was. It was then, not now, because Hollywood's like going back.
Well, Hollywood, maybe not so much with Hollywood, but there's a lot of creativity with independent films.
Yeah,
some of the indie films from the maybe past.
But I'm saying Hollywood now is they're going back. They're going, well, we can't think anything new.
Yeah, they do all these remakes and everything.
Popular,
and now with the pandemic, they're not making much anymore.
Well,
but they're still coming out with these streaming series, which is cool. We watched recently. It's not horror related, but it was interesting. The Queen's Gambit. That was a good series.
You're talking about new stuff.
Yeah, that was new.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, we mentioned the 80s stuff for next week,
yes.
But now everyone's talking about it now.
Prince of Darkness with Alice Cooper. Do you know that one? I don't know that.
No, I don't know.
I'm struggling here. I see that. 50s, well, 50s epitomized the cheese and not the cheese, but the schlock,
Yeah, we play a lot of the 50s and 60s really schlocky movies.
Yeah, some of my weird movies that I remember growing up was The Boy with Green Hair, with someone said Dean Stockwell.
The Boy with Green Hair.
See, no one remembers that.
Was that like a TV movie?
It was an allegory for I think just for being, it might have been racism, at the time. But it wasn't. It sounds like an after school special, but it was a movie with Dean Stockwell, a young Dean Stockwell, if you know who he is, actor who was in Quantum Leap, in the 80s.
Yeah, I know Quantum Leap.
But it was basically literally a kid that had green hair and he had to, go through all this stuff with people. But that was one they would show late at night, in Cleveland, where I grew up, here in Northeast Ohio. They would come on late night movie, The Boy with Green Hair. But look that one up. And Face of Fire is a good one too.
Yeah, I've never seen Boy with Green Hair. I think you've talked about it a couple times and I never saw it. Do we have that one, Grimm?
No.
That's a movie we need to find.
That one's like out of print, hard to get.
Out of all the stacks of movies and VHS we don't have that one.
Well, I don't know about Eddie Izzard's grandpa. He's that's more
It's kind of random.
Yeah, see, that someone said, "Oh my God, I remember." Yeah, that was one of those weird movies. that was like, you know, it wasn't anything.
Cat People.
We do no, but that's one we like.
Those are good. There's two Cat People
and they're
movies.
both good.
And they're both really good.
They're beautiful.
It was starring that really pretty French actress, and I don't remember her name. I'd have to Google it. But she appears in both of them. In the second one, she appears as a ghost.
Yeah. Well, even the later. Well, they're talking about the Cat People that was with Nastasia Kinski. That was a good one too. That was like a late 70s one.
Oh yeah, these ones were from
it was
the 50s,
more sexual, but
early 60s.
The original ones are beautiful. I mean,
yeah, they're just really nice.
Our friend Commander Greg gave us a copy of that, and it's like so. I mean, actual, you know, as a Christmas gift, gave us some of those. Yeah.
Yeah, those are good movies.
They're very good. Pia Zadora, the original Fog movie. You know, one movie that's
really good.
It's not an old movie, but at all. But it's the one movie that I may not be able to watch ever again.
Which one?
The Mist.
That's a good one. But why can't you watch it ever again?
Do you not remember the ending of The Mist? It's that movie.
But why? Why couldn't you watch it?
Because it's you talk about stuff that you won't even watch.
Oh, is it because of the?
We're at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
They're leaving and they don't know.
Yeah, well, there's
everybody.
Yeah,
and then the army's like, we're here. It's like, I don't want to give anything away. If you've never seen the movie The Mist, maybe not.
We talked about this with a filmmaker friend of ours. There's some movies that we're like not watched, like we're taking a break from because with all the craziness of the pandemic, like it's like I want to watch stuff that's more cheesy or goofy rather than like gore, doom and gloom where everybody dies. It's like there's too much going on in real life that was sad. I didn't want to watch a sad or a movie where everybody's dying.
But I will tell you, if you want something to watch that's like gonna like, you know,
even though we love horror films,
if you like Sour Patch Kids and things like that, watch The Mist. You won't be disappointed. Forever I heard about this movie. I'm like, okay, what's this about? Oh yeah, I watched it. We own it too, and it's like, and I watched it the one time, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And I feel the same way about The Devil's Rejects. You know the.
Oh my gosh, that one's really that. And like The Hills Have Eyes. There's some that are like just really. But I'll watch
Rejects before I watch The Mist again anytime because it's like
they're both really like ugh. You feel like you need a shower after watching.
But
oh Albert, hey. Wow. Thank you.
Because I'm not giving anything away, but I would recommend it if you really don't want the same-o. Let's put it that way. You will be pleasantly something. May I suggest Under the Rainbow? Yeah, you know what? We have that. We just got that.
Under the Rainbow?
That's about the.
That I didn't see.
It's a fictional account of the making of Hollywood during the making of Wizard of Oz.
I was wondering if they had a Wizard of Oz.
It's a murder mystery. Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn.
Oh.
And they got some of the cast, you know.
Wasn't there a rumor that someone hung themselves during the making of that movie? There was all kinds of stuff. That's interesting because one of my favorite non-horror films is The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God.
And probably Ghostbusters. And
Spider Drag, you know. Okay, The Mist, Requiem for a Dream, director's cut, right? Not yeah.
But there was all kinds of...
You only need to see them once, and then you're good.
Going back to The Wizard of Oz and that whole thing, like, there were issues with the makeup they wore. Something where the lady who played the Wicked Witch, like, she almost got her face burned off when she was, like, she did that thing where she was disappearing and there was fire.
Oh, yeah. It was
flammable. like a lot of those actors got really beat up.
That might have been an improvement for her, though. Just kidding. Well, the Tin Man, you know, he was with that silver makeup.
It was lead-based makeup. He was getting sick from the lead makeup. Like, what the... Like, why would you put lead in makeup? And he wears
an asbestos costume.
I mean, it was like all these things that were terrible for people, and they were using...
The people are going back to what we were originally talking about the
bad movies? Or the gross movies? Yeah.
It's come full circle. Yeah, that's
taking a break from some of those, yeah.
Gummo is a really messed up movie.
I heard that one's really messed up, and I haven't seen it yet. I might wait to watch that one.
Richard Taylor.
Yeah, so like I would rather watch like Dead Alive or Evil Dead instead of like Devil's Rejects or Hills Have Eyes.
But with Richard Taylor said, he goes, I love movies at the end, they make you go, what the bloop? So do I, because, you know, everything.
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
If it's any movie that's predictable, you know, you just kind of go through the motions, right? Whether I like ultra happy endings or ultra dark endings, I mean, it's weird, right? But it's a way, at least because you get something you don't expect, but it's not the same old. You know, it's not the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
You know, either it's ultra happy, all the mediocre stuff goes right under the bridge, but then there's the dark stuff, and it still hits you. Like I said, I don't hate The Mist. I'm just saying, when I watch that, when I think about it, I'm like, I know what's happening. It's like, I don't know if I can. I mean, but I liked it because it was at least something I've never seen before, and that's something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of because it depends on how it's made, how the story is.
If it's
But yeah, I mean
Devil's Rejects for me kind of is on the line there, because it just shows you, because it's not anything supernatural. These are just crazy killer people.
And there's people like that in real life.
Well, that movie.
I think that's why I didn't like it that much.
Is it The Strangers?
The Strangers. I didn't like that one either.
Is that with Josh Brolin, the guy that plays Thanos?
I don't know.
In the Marvel movies?
Probably.
That, again, it's
I don't remember who's who in it, but I watched it and I did not.
It's just people killing people.
Yeah.
That really happens, and it's really dark, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, that happens already in real life. Like,
get the shower ready. I know what you're saying.
Like, where's the how can you make that different?
Gingerbread Man. I heard about that.
Where's like the guy in the mask, or the monster with the tentacles, or the giant fangs or something? Like,
Laura Wallace said Happiness is one of the best, worst movies I've ever seen. I saw that movie. I remember all the hype about it, you know, because it was like an indie type of, like, you know,
I didn't see that
Sundance sort of movie. Oh, it's with Philip Seymour Hoffman. That movie, again, it's definitely one of those ones. Again, after you're done, you're like, "Where's the shower? Get the soap."
I want to watch cartoons. Yeah,
it's just. But I don't.
Have you guys done that where you watch like a really gross out, nasty movie, and afterwards you're like, "Okay, I need a shower and I want to sit and watch cartoons."
Yeah, I like, but I like that, as long as it's entertaining.
It depends on what it is, but there's some that are like that are really good and I love, but then there's some where I'm like, ew,
Nora Wallace.
What did I watch?
Now see, okay, so we own Pigs on Blu-ray. Okay, I bought it a few years ago at Cinema Waste. I have not watched it yet, but I've heard about Pigs. I don't know about it though, so I have to put that in. We do have it though.
What are the other comments?
Lots of stuff.
Gingerbread Man? Oh, wasn't there a movie called Ginger Dead Man about a killer gingerbread cookie?
Yeah, Gingerbread Man. I think is that who's in that movie? I know the title, but I think it's Dustin Hoffman or something like that. Who's in Gingerbread Man? That might be like a spy-ish movie or something like that.
Trick or Treat movie with Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons.
Isn't that the one we watched? Isn't that the one with the record?
Yeah, with the record that you play backwards.
That movie, unfortunately.
And then there's like this like rock and roll demon that's trying to take over.
The sad thing about that movie is like 75% is so 80s perfect.
It's really
cheese.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, it just kind of just takes a poop. It doesn't.
I didn't like the ending.
It's not that good.
It was a decent movie. Like, it was fun to watch.
The first 3/4 of the movie is so much fun.
It's really fun to watch.
And then it just kind of poops. It just doesn't deliver at the end, which, you know, that's, you know, if the ending could have just been a little different, it would have been great. But boy, is it a fun ride up into then.
Gary Busey voices the Ginger Dead Man. Oh my gosh.
What is it, Gary Busey?
Gary Busey voices the Ginger Dead Man.
Oh boy, Ginger Dead Man.
Ginger Dead Man, yeah.
Anything with Gary Busey.
That's the one I've heard of that movie. I have not seen that one
The
yet.
Gingerbread Man. What are you seeing Dead for? Oh, Ginger Dead, you are.
It says Ginger Dead.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
The Audition, Joel says, it freaked out Rob Zombie. I just bought that on DVD from a thrift store.
Wow, if it's a movie,
it's a Japanese movie.
If that freaked out,
I have it.
I mean, wow.
Maybe we should watch it. Maybe this weekend. Get crazy?
Might have to watch it.
I got it. Yeah. There's so many crazy movies out there. I like crazy
If it freaks out Rob Zombie, then it must be a really freaky movie.
The Baby. And we've heard about that movie.
Oh, that movie's disturbing. Oh, I have seen that movie on Roku. There's a streaming channel, American Horrors. They played that on there once, and I was like, what the hell am I watching? It's really messed up. I won't go into details, but yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah. Why would they put that there? Why would they? Why is that?
I don't know.
James Buscarella says, "Batteries Not Included" or Joe's Apartment, comedy movie with talking cockroaches.
Oh yeah, I know those. Yeah.
Batteries Not Included, one of my favorite unsung movies. That Spielberg directed it or produced it. Great movie. If you've never seen this movie, totally get it. It is such a late 80s feels movie, kind of like E.T. type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old, sort of, people want to evict us from our building, but we're not going to leave. And it has a space twist to it, like an aliens twist to it. You have to see it. There's stuff in there you're watching like, oh my God, what are they doing? It's not like really predictable in a lot of ways, but it's a lot of fun. It's a good movie, a family movie, but it's one of those weird family movies that have the dark spots. And like, this isn't for a family. You know, when you're watching, like, this isn't a family movie.
Well, but guys, I'm getting tired.
What movie is that? I've never seen that one.
It's called Janet's Getting Tired.
Oh.
So it's like after one already.
Ooh, Albert says Amazon Prime has a good library of 40s to today B movies. We gotta check that out. We do have Prime. Yeah, Evil Bong, we have that on DVD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so wow, we could go on all night for this, and some night, and maybe one night we will. Who knows? There's
just so much, but yeah, I think let's continue this conversation next Saturday, and we'll talk about 80s horror films.
We will. But we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for episode 44 of the Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangover. You guys enjoy this weekend. Enjoy the new year. And we'll see you next Saturday morning right here on the Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangover. I know we just said that, but
good night. Say it again. Good fright.
What she said.
Mwah. Bye, guys. I'm going to bed.
Can I go with you?
Okay. Well, no, there's not enough room in my sarcophagus.
I ended it already.